Hello and welcome to the chapter working with functions. So this is the part 2 of this particular chapter. In part 1 we have discussed about inbuilt functions and modules. So in part 2 we are going to discuss about user defined functions. If you have not watched the part 1 of this series, you can always check out, the link is given in the description. So here let us try to understand what user defined functions are. So what are user defined functions? A function that is named and defined by the programmer is called user defined functions. See, many times our requirement is not completely fulfilled by the user defined functions or the functions which are available within the modules. So in those situations we can make our own functions. So our own function, the functions which are made by the programmers, those are known as user defined functions. Let's consider a scenario. Let's say you are being given with the job of making a software for an ATM. So in ATM there can be various functions. Let's say one function is deposit. Let's say one function will be withdraw. Under that all the things related to withdrawal will be there. Let's say there is another function which is your fund transfer. So let's say everything related to fund transfer will be here. So if you do not use the concept of functions, then let's say the sequence is at first deposit will be made, then withdrawal, and then fund transfer. Till the work of the function, till the work of deposit is not completed, the work of withdraw cannot start. And till the work of withdraw is not completed, the work of fund transfer cannot start if we do not use functions. But if we use functions, if there are 3 members in a group, all the 3 members can be assigned separate tasks, like one will be dealing with deposit, one will be dealing with withdrawal, and other can deal with fund transfer, and they can develop their part parallelly, and after developing it parallelly, at the end it can be merged. So what will happen in this case? The time taken for the project completion will be reduced drastically. Also, you should note one thing, that these functions like deposit, withdraw, and fund transfer, these are customized functions. Therefore, these will not be present in the Python library. So you need to make these functions by yourself. So if you are making some functions by yourself, then it is known as user defined functions. What are the advantages? First is parallel programming. Second can be the time is reduced drastically. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now let us go and see the syntax of user defined functions. So for writing a user defined functions, it begins with the word DEF. DEF stands for function definition. After DEF, I'll be writing the function name. So in our previous example, let's say we'll be dealing with the deposit function. So we'll write DEF deposit. Then within the first bracket, if there are some arguments, so those will be written within these braces. After that, we need to end this line with a colon. After that, what we need to do, we need to write the statements which will be a part of function header or function definition. So there can be various statements within the function definition. So statement 1, statement 2, dot 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 up to statement n. And at the end, suppose these are certain calculations. After doing the calculations, what we can do, we can return the answer to the function, to the main part. It will be more clear when we complete this entire session. So make sure you watch till the end. So this particular part from statement 1 to return variable name, this is known as the function body. What is the work of function body? Function body prescribes how a particular function work. For example, if you are writing the function for deposit, within the function body of the function deposit, you will be writing the logic in which the function deposit will be working. And this return variable name means at the end you can take a variable which will return the ultimate result of that particular function. So this is the syntax for function definition. After doing the function definition, let's take an example. Let's say we'll create a function called calsum. So we'll write def space calsum, then within bracket, this p and q, these are known as your parameters, or it may be said as arguments also, but specifically parameter is the correct word. So after giving the parameters, in the next line we'll be writing the list of statements. So here we have written s equals to p plus q and then return s. Return s means after adding p and q, the result is stored in s and then s is returned to the main function. Okay, this is the first part of user defined function. What is the second part? So this is called as the function body, and next part is the function calling. After we define a function, for it to be used properly, what we should do, we should call the function. Okay, so using a function that has been defined earlier, it is known as function calling. So recently we discussed about the function calsum. So for using the function calsum, we need to call it. So what is the syntax for it? The syntax is, we'll write the function name and then the arguments needs to be written. If the function definition contains argument, then in the function calling also there will be some arguments. So for example, how to use the function calsum? So we'll write calsum, then here we can, so there were two arguments or two parameters in the function definition. So in the function calling also there are two arguments. Okay, so the last line is very important. Here the arguments are optional. If the function definition contains argument, then the function calling must also include arguments. So in our previous case, the function definition calsum, it contained two arguments or two parameters p and q. So in the function calling also we'll be having two arguments x and y. X, y, p, q, these are nothing but just normal variables. Now we need to be very clear about two terms, parameters and arguments. So what are parameters? The values that are passed in the function header are referred to as parameters. So what is function header? Whatever we write after def, it is the first line of function definition, it is known as the function header. So under function header, if within bracket, if we write certain variable names or some numbers, those are known as parameters. The parameters are also known as formal parameters. For example, here you see def calsum p comma q. Here p and q are referred to as your parameters. Okay, so the values which are passed in the function header. What is the function header? The first line of function definition is known as function header. So whatever value we pass here, they are known as parameters or formal parameters. So p and q, they are referred to as parameters. Okay, let's go to the next term, that is arguments. So what are arguments? The values that are passed in the function call statement are referred to as arguments. So which is these arguments, these are also known as actual parameters. So for example, in our previous slide there we used the function calling calsum x comma y. This x comma y, these are known as your arguments or actual parameters. Okay, these two values will go and it will be matched with the function definition header. It will be more clear when we go to the programming part. So let us see a program with functions. So for writing a program with function, we require two things. One is the function definition, next is the function calling. So at the very beginning, what we will write? We will write our list of functions one by one. It's not that in a program only one function can be there. There can be more than one functions in a program. Okay, so after writing the list of functions, what we will do? We will write the main program. What is main program? Till now, whatever programs you have written in class 11, all those are a part of the main program. But here we will not write the main program directly. At first we will be writing the function definitions. After writing the function definitions, we will be writing the main programs. Let us write a complete program now in relation to functions. I'll just show it in the slide first, then we'll go to the programming part. So at first, what is written? The function definition part is written. So this is what? This is function definition. After that, the actual programming part or the main program is written. So the second part, from x equals to int, input enter first number, it is called as the main program or the top level statements. You can just match it with the this one syntax. So these are known as your function definitions, and these are known as your top level statements or the main statements. Okay. Also, you should keep one thing in mind, that def and this x or the main program should come at the same indentation level, and the statements within the function definition should be at a different indentation level. So this part is known as what? Let's revise it again. It is known as function definition, and this part, it is known as the top level statements. Okay, I hope this part is clear. Now let us go to the programming part. So let's develop a small Python program to add two numbers. So for adding two numbers, what we will do at first, what is to be written? We should write the this one function definition. So function definition starts with def. So we'll write def. Then let's say we'll write this one function name. Let's say the function name is calsum. You can give any function name as per your choice. There's no fixed rule with that. So then we'll pass this parameters. Okay, so after that, what we can write? We can write the logic. So let's say we'll write s equals to p plus q. Okay, after that, let's write the return statement. So after doing the calculation, we'll be returning this value to the main function. Okay, we'll write return s. Now we need to break the indentation. Why? Because see, the main function should start at the same indentation level with the def. Okay, so here we'll write the main statements. Let's say, what is it? X. Let's say x equals to int input. I'll write in short. Let's say enter the first number. Okay, then let's say we'll take a variable y and write here int input. So this is the script mode in Python. You can use any editor for that. Enter the second number. Okay, and then what we'll do, we'll take a variable for storing the result. So if there is a return statement in the function definition, then you should store the result in some variable before calling the function. Now what is the name of our function? The name of our function is calsum. So what we'll do, we need to call the function. So calsum. Okay, so here where did we receive our numbers? We received our numbers in x and y. So we'll write calsum x comma y. So finally, what we'll do, how it works, so I'll be explaining it to you in details. So print, so we can write result is, so the result will be stored in sum. So result is your comma sum. Okay, so this is the entire program. Now how does this program run? I'll explain it to you. So let's run and see it. So enter the first number. Let's say the first number is 4. Enter the second number. Let's say the second number is 8. So the answer will be, so the result is how much? The result is your 12. Okay, so this is the program of addition of two numbers with the help of a function. Now let us see how does it runs, or how does a function actually works. So for the working of a function, so this was our program. So this was our program here. See, at first, which line will run? This particular line will be executed. Okay, so this is known as code tracing. So at first, line number 1 will be executed. After that, as it encounters the def statement, the control will be transferred to the main program. So which line contains the main program? The fourth line. So after 1, which line will be executed? The line number 4. After that, which line will be executed? The line number 5 will be executed. After that, which line will be executed? The line number 6 is executed. If you pay attention, in the line number 6, what we have done here, we have done the function calling. So whenever function calling is encountered, the control gets back to the function definition. So from here, from line number 6, it will not go to line number 7 directly. So the program will pause at this particular point at line number 6. After pausing at this particular point, the control will be transferred to line number 1. So in place of x, let's say you have given 2. In place of y, let's say you have given 5. So x will carry the value 2 and y will carry the value of 5. Now this 2, that is the value of x, will be copied to p. So what will be the value of p? The value of p will be 2. What will be the value of q? Q will be the equivalent value of y, that is 5. So p is 2, q is 5. So s equals to p plus q means here what will be done? 5 plus 2, that is 7, and 7 will be stored in the variable s. Now what is stored in the variable s? 7 is stored in the variable s. Now that s, see, next line is return s. That 7, that particular 7 will be returned to which line? It will be returned to line number 6. Okay. Now that 7 will be stored in the variable sum. Okay. So final answer is stored in which line? It is stored in line number 6, and in the variable, which variable? In the variable sum. After that, which line will be executed? The line number 7 will be executed, and our answer will be displayed as sum is, what is the sum? The sum is 7. So how do we trace this program? We will trace this program in the following manner. So at first, line number, so let me erase the complete thing. Okay, so at first, line number 1 will be executed. As it encounters DEF, it will go to line number 4, then 5, then 6. From 6, it will go again to line number 1. From line number 1, it will go to which line? It will go to line number 2. Then it will go to line number 3. After 3, it will go to that particular line which has called it. Which line has called it? The line number 6 has called it. So it will go to which line number? It will go to line number 6. After 6, it will go to which particular line number? It is known as, it will go to line number 7. So this is the flow of execution of this particular function, and it is also known as code tracing. In exam, this question is important. A code will be given, and after that you will be given to trace that program, and you need to trace the program in this particular manner. Hope you have got understood the basics of user defined function. More about it in the next part. Okay.